Good afternoon, it's Carolyn here on Waiheke Island down under in New Zealand. I'm walking through our beautiful forest again. In this video I want to talk about why I think it is wise to invest and mine the botanical blockchain rather than mine or invest in the Bitcoin blockchain. I'll start by giving you a definition of the botanical blockchain, and then I'm going to compare it to Bitcoin blockchain. Hopefully at the end you'll have a better understanding of both and be able to make a wiser decision. So what is the botanical blockchain? It's an ancient, decentralized, globally distributed, immutable, botanical database that is shared by peer-to-peer. Now, so that is the plants all around us, like all these plants here, and how they are spread out around the globe, and how they contain data. So inside them is information. Data is information inside each of these plants. There are different secret ingredients, let's just call them, and we can mine those and share the data that we find around the globe, because this is all joined with each other. And those secret ingredients we use for our medicine, our food and our shelter, and we have done since ancient times, which is why I've called it the ancient blockchain, the ancient botanical blockchain. And we still mine it right now. We're mining some of these plants at the moment, looking for things that will help us deal with COVID. So don't think that it's a blockchain that we aren't accessing, and it's a blockchain that I mine, you could say, and I'm in a mining pool. I understand the language that is spoken, and I am watching what plants people are looking at so that I can make sure I can spread that information if I need to. So how does that compare to Bitcoin? So Bitcoin is very similar, except for one really critical element of it is that, so it's a database, just like the botanical database, the botanical blockchain, except the botanical blockchain is complete. So every tree has all its blocks are full of data, so it was completed. And Bitcoin is empty. It's an empty database. So let me explain that in terms that might be easier to understand. So if you've ever been into the public library and you've gone up to the reception there and spoke to the librarian and said, "Oh, is there a computer here? I would like to have a look at the database of books you've got here so I don't have to wander around." And you're typing this into the search bar there. She's showing you a computer. You're typing it into their database search bar, and you're typing in, crypto for dummies, and there's no search, no result comes up. And then you lift up your head and you look around, and all the shelves in the library are empty. That's Bitcoin. It's empty. It's an empty database. I'll give you another example that might make it even more obvious. So you might, everyone in New Zealand knows what an Excel spreadsheet is. I'm not saying they like it, but we know what it is. And I use them, and I open them up and I put information about my plants and my seeds and numbers and quantities and things. And in the little cells, or blocks if you like, you can put mathematical equations, and it does different calculations, and you can do special reports on what you're doing. So when you first open up Excel and you open up a blank document, that's Bitcoin. It's a blank spreadsheet. It is basically a blank spreadsheet. So you've got to ask yourself, why are you mining that? I mean, the funny thing is, I heard somebody in the Bitcoin area, it's just slippery here so I'm going a bit slow, and they said, this is what they said. They said, you can't stop Bitcoin. No one can stop Bitcoin, not even God. And I was thinking, well, why would they want to, considering it's just an empty database? It's pretty worthless. But it's easy to stop technology. It's a man-made technology, and it's easy to stop. The sun can stop it. just with a small EMP, so electromagnetic pulse from the sun, and it does that all the time. It has little sun sneezes up there. It's capable of taking out the entire world grid, so I don't see why it couldn't take out Bitcoin. And you might be thinking, oh wow, I've heard about that EMP. It could take out Bitcoin, I guess. Yeah, it could. So you might be wondering, well, can it take out the botanical blockchain? Do you think that these plants are going to have a negative impact if we get a sun flare, if we get a big EMP, even from another country that's trying to attack us with a man-made one? Do you think anything is going to happen to these plants and the data that's stored in them? No, it's not. It's going to be fine. So, there is peace in that knowing that everything that you need is already here in this blockchain set up for you. So another key there is that it's not man-made. So this isn't made by man, where Bitcoin is. So Bitcoin is an empty blockchain, an empty database. It's made by man. It can easily be taken down by the sun. And another thing is, being man-made, you can patent, you can copyright Bitcoin. And if you look online now, you'll find that there's thousands and thousands of patents from the big companies like Microsoft, etc. Thousands of them, if you don't believe me. So you can take patent on human creation. But this plant here, you can look inside that and find the secret ingredient and use it for your medicine, but you can't patent this because you didn't make it. You might have found the ingredient, but you didn't create the ingredient. I think people have forgotten that all our medicine, this is where we've got it, out of the plants. We don't wake up in the morning and say, hey, I just woke up and invented a medicine. It just doesn't work that way. So hopefully you can kind of work out that this botanical blockchain is complete and Bitcoin isn't. You can't, so it's got all the data that we need, all the secret ingredients are inside here, and you cannot copyright that, and an EMP or a sun flare isn't going to take it out. So I'm just going to end this video with asking you a question now. Do you think it's wise to be investing and mining in an empty building, an empty library with no books? Or do you think it's wise to be investing in a botanical library that contains the database, the information on all our medicine, food and shelter?